What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? What's going on, man? So listen, guys. Y'all here? I'm here, man. We've been getting this high demand on Rob starting his own podcast, right? For those of you who's going to be joining us today that may never heard of myself, Rob Van Harris, guys. Um, in short, I'm a real estate investor, guys. Me and my team basically specialize in fixing and flipping creative financing deals and buy and hold. Our whole portfolio, for the most part, was built off of creative strategies, guys. And I've been on podcasts like Get Creative, Pace Morby, Get Creative podcast, Deal Machine podcast, the Man Cave podcast, and we've talked about those strategies and things that unique, very interesting things that I'm doing within my industry and within my business. So, guys, what I've decided to do was I decided to bring this to because I always get asked the question. I always get asked this question, and the question is, Rob, are you coaching? Rob, are you mentoring? And I would always say, especially when I go on other people's podcasts, I would say, look, I make it easy for you. Like, just come in, right? If you already somebody that's already, whether you wholesale it, fixing and flipping, whatever the situation may be, let's just get money together. Let me and my team help you. So the way we've done with a lot of investors through over the years, we've basically just been a resource, guys. Been in this thing now for over 20 years, guys. I started investing when I was 20 years old, guys, and been doing it ever since, man. Now, we're very well known for a family business. My kids is in it now. My wife is in it. And this is, just what we do as a lifestyle, guys. It's not something we do, as part-time. It's not something we do, sometimes it's something we've been doing over the past 20 years. So I'm very reliable resource. And I'm a well-acknowledged man. And people, know me from being very transparent, man, very transparent. And this podcast, guys, what this podcast is going to be about is, again, we always get the questions. Can you coach me? Can you mentor me? Right. But I'm focused on, and I've been telling people this for years, I'm not focused on teaching people how to make money. That's the easy part, right? I'm more so focused personally on building up the overall man, right? And what I mean by that is that I could teach you guys, I could teach you how to make $1 million in a year. If you're looking to make six figures in a year, if you're looking to make, whatever, guys, you're looking to make seven figures, eight figures, I could teach you that. But what's the use of having all that money in your bank if you broke mentally? You know what I mean? Or you broke spiritually, or you broke in your relationships with your friends and your family, or you broke in your marriage and you broke in your relationship with your kids. So what I try to do in everything that I do, guys, on my social media platform, on all the podcasts that I've been on in the past, I try to just be a living epistle as to what wholeness look like, right? Because again, if you have $10 million in your bank account, but at the end of the day, you have nobody to explore to share that with, is that really success? Like, really, question mark, is that really success? I truly believe, guys, that success is wholeness. And what's exciting about this is that we're going to be talking about success. And I'm going to be bringing in all my friends that help me to drill home not only the message of wholeness, the message of success, but they're going to be able to teach you some unique strategies that they're utilizing in their business. Strategies I guarantee that you may not even heard about. So I'm excited because, again, I'm the fix and flip creative financing and all that stuff. Like I do that, right? That's what I'm known for. That's what I do. And guys, everything down from building a property from ground up, from the new thing that's on and popping, that's the hottest thing everybody's talking about right now, and it's co-living. Like, we're going to be talking about all that stuff here on the Rob Van Harris Show, guys. And this is just episode 1, so get ready, guys, because strap your seatbelts on. I have a special guest with us here today. And this is somebody who I decided to be a part of this journey with me, especially for my first podcast, my first episode, because I know this person as someone to be a giver. And servanthood seemed to be a thing in the past. It seemed to be something that people don't even recognize that word anymore, right? And not only, servanthood, but he's a giver. He come from the place of just being a giver. When I first met this dude, it was like, I'm so used to people really not and respectfully, not everybody is coming out like blatantly like, hey, what can you do for me or help me, or they wanting to take, right? But this guy, when I first met this guy, it was more so from the perspective of, how can I help you? What is it I can bring to your table that could be an asset to you? And that tweaked my attention, man, because people that know that's in our world and in our industry is very people that's willing to give, like this guy was willing to give. Most people have their hand out and they're looking to take. And I'm a true believer in, man, half of the way we people live the way that they live is because the way that they think. And if we could change our thinking, we could change our lives. And this guy right here has been an inspiration to me. That's why I decided to bring him on as a special guest. And I didn't even let the cat out the bag. And when I bring him on, a lot of the people in the industry are going to know who this guy is. A lot of the people from our community is going to know who this individual is, because he's such a go-giver that's what he's known for in the industry. It's just being a giver. So, man, I'm not even going to be the guy to keep. And here is the thing I want to drive home before I bring up our guest, guys. I want y'all to know this. This podcast and this episode is not just going to be about, again, real estate, and we give these vague strategies and these vague, buffers as to how you can get it done. We're going to break this thing down for you guys. Like you, and I always tell people, break it down to me like I'm an 8-year-old. I don't understand. I need you to break that thing down to me like I'm 10 years old. And that's how I feel, as though some people, I'm a visionary, so I'm visual, right? So sometimes I need to see things, and I'm the type of person that if I don't understand it, I'm gonna tell you, I don't understand. I need you to probably write that out for me, or give me some type of story behind it to help me to drive home your point so I can really get what you're trying to tell me. Right. And a lot of the people that I've coached over the years, because here's the thing, even though I'm not collecting fees and all that from coaching, I do a lot of coaching behind the scenes. I've been a blessing to a lot of people in their careers and their families behind the scenes. And this guy who I'm about to bring up has not only been a blessing to me, he haven't only been a blessing to families and people that I know, but he also been a blessing, man, to this industry, this real estate industry in a whole, and not just real estate, but just in the industry of people just collabing and doing, even if it's not real estate as we know it as fix and flips. This guy know how to bring people into the world of whatever you looking to get into. You looking to buy a business, he's your guy. You looking to get into real estate wholesaling, he's your guy. So I say I got to bring my guy on, man, because he check all the boxes, right? And I know I'm going to have a bunch of different people at different starts and different levels of their careers, right? So I wanted to make sure I brought on the perfect guest for y'all, man. Without further ado, I want to bring on my man, my brother, Miguel, guys. Welcome, Miguel, to the stage, man.
Yo, what's up? What's up, brother? Bro, I'll be honest, dude. I was so excited just by your intro. Not even just your intro, it was the energy that you're giving off. You know, one of the biggest things with these podcasts is that you have to go in strong. You have to go in with energy.
Come on.
When you got that energy, bro, people just come flocking.
Come on now. You better tell them, brother. You better tell them. But you already know, but this is the good thing. I'm so excited. Let me just say that. I'm gonna let you take this thing because I'm so excited, because here is the thing. We get to allow the audience to basically just be a fly on a wall to a conversation you and I would have had anyway.
Yes, sir.
I'm excited, brother. So,
I mean, man, even in the morning, come on, like we did a quick sound check, we did a quick video check, making sure everything is good for you guys, just so you guys can hear our audio great, just so you guys can see us clearly. And man, you put these two guys in a room, and we just collaborate, we talk, we go, and we think, all right, how can we improve our industry? How can we give to our industry?
Yeah.
And my brother, I appreciate you again so much, man. The Lord bless your heart and your family, my guy. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining us, man. Thank you for joining us. For the people who don't know who you are, Miguel, because I know it's going to be a lot of people, like I said, from the community here. A lot of people, I'm based out of Atlanta. You know what I mean? So a lot of people know who you are and what you do. For the people who don't know what you do and who you are, give them a brief summary and a sneak peek of what you do and how you can bring value to their doorstep.
Absolutely. Again, my name, Miguel Becerril. In essence, I'm a servant. I'm here to serve you guys. I'm here to serve anyone that comes into my circle. It is a Lord-given gift that I see you. And a lot of times with this industry, when you're first starting, no one sees you. No one pays attention because you have nothing to give. That's not the case with me. I want to give, I want to give, and I want to give. And I want to make you win because it's a team sport. So I'm here to serve in all reality. And whether it be, like Rob said, business, whether it be real estate, whether it be the mental game that we all face day in, day in, out. And that's what we're here for. And that's what I'm here in this industry, is to serve one another. That's what it is, brother.
I love that, man. I love that. What's the actual, because I know you to be a connector.
Correct.
A connector. So that's more so your avatar, correct?
Yeah, that is correct.
Now I'm saying connector, and I know a lot of people, when I just said that, it's like, what the heck is that? Because they've heard of real estate fix and flipper. They've heard of wholesaler. They heard of builder. But what is a connector, Miguel?
Simply put, it's putting piece A and piece C and piece D and whatever pieces into a perfect puzzle, this perfect vision. And again, it takes a gift to really see the big vision and how we can put it all together. So as a connector, I see Rob's dilemmas. I see Rob's needs. I see all these things. And immediately my brain says, all right, figure this out. You got to bring it. And that's what a connector is. It's someone that leads with their own key network to fulfill somebody else's.
I like that. And I guarantee that's what that was about. That's what she said. She said, what's that about? What I tell you? Like, I know my audience, man. I know my people. So they like, when I say connector, they like, what the heck? So let me give y'all my version of it. Miguel just gave y'all his version. Let me give y'all my version. So a connector, let me tell you a story. So I met Miguel at a real estate summit, right? And again, most people, they walk up to you, hey, what you do? You know what I mean? And then you will notice, like, if there's no way you can really add value to them, they immediately like want to cut that conversation as quick as possible. They want to get on to the next person. They call that networking. Yeah. They call it networking. You know what I mean? They like, oh, you ain't lending money? All right. Good meeting you, brother. And they over there with it, right? But Miguel had a different approach. He came to me and he was just like, yeah, man, I was talking to your son. I'm hearing y'all fixing and flipping, over there in Atlanta. I love Atlanta, man. What you need of? I'm like, what I'm in need of? I mean, I'm good, brother. You know what I mean? I barely know you, but, I'm good. He like, no, man, because look, I'm a connector. You know what I mean? I have resources, rather it's capital you need. You know what I mean? Rather it's an integrator you need, rather it's a visionary you need in your team, rather it's closers you need. I said, dang. So you have, all right, so let me explain. Let me make sure I understand. So you, for instance, if I need to raise $1 million to buy these 4 properties that I currently have under contract, you meaning to tell me you could just go get the money for me? He was like, yes, I'm that guy. I was like, nice to meet you, brother. Nice to meet you. So check this out. Maybe 2 weeks later, we went to go have lunch and things like that. Out of everybody I met, I had lunch with him because I wanted to learn more about him. Man, I learned more about him and his beautiful family, man. And then I started hearing about him through the grapevine through other people. So like maybe 2 weeks after we left the summit, I think it was, I called you and I was like, hey man, I'm in need of a TC, transactional coordinator. I have some creative financing deals, and the TC, the transactional coordinator that I'm currently working with, don't know how to really facilitate those transactions. Do you have somebody for me? I lied to you not, man. This guy really proved that he was really who he said he was. Maybe 2 hours later, he had me on a group chat making the intro to me and this individual. And to this day, that person is still on my team, closing deals with me left and right. And actually, she went from just being a backup TC to my full-time TC, all because of this man right here, man.
Oh, let's go.
That's my guy. That's my guy. Hey, Miguel, I mean, you've raised capital for a bunch of investors like myself. And I know a lot of people need access to this because they like raise capital. Like, yes, guys. So I tell people all the time, like, I don't go to a Bank of Wells Fargo or a Bank of Chase to go take out loans to buy our property. So when I talk to people and I tell people like I'm a cash buyer, or we buy properties cash. When people tell you that they're buying properties cash, it don't necessarily mean that it's their cash. Mm-hmm. Usually it could be maybe institutional funding. You need to ask these questions. So when you say cash, are you referring to institutional cash, meaning Bank of Wells Fargo, Bank of America? Are you referring to hard money cash? Because that's usually contingent upon a third party approval. Are you referring to private money? And if so, what type of private money? Because some private monies have contingencies as well. However, right, when you raise private capitals, like private capital, like my company do, I can call up a Miguel and say, Miguel, look, we're on track to do 10 transactions next month, mm-hmm, right? I need 2.5, in capital. Now, don't get it wrong. He have to vet me before he just start putting his name on me. So I had to send him my HUD sheets. I had to send him my fix and flips. He heard about me and he met my son and he heard people saying like, yeah, he the fix and flip guy. But I had to show him, I had to HUD up or shut up. Showed him all my HUD sheets, showed him I was the real deal. And man, he was really official in doing what he said he can do. And with that being said, I want to talk about that a little bit, Miguel, because I know you raise private capital being a connector. You connect the dots with people. What else? Because I'm noticing that you add a couple more avatars to that title now, brother. So let's talk a little bit about that. Know you're a connector. What else are you doing to bring value to people?
Yeah, we're doing acquisitions, which is a fancy word for saying wholesale. We're actually working with disposition as well. I think in the chat, I seen one of my dispo girls in here. We're creating this whole new thing for them. And this is where I go back and say, I want to serve, because when I had this connection with this individual, I was like, all right, who can I bring in to this team to create it to where it fits perfectly, that they could create this whole business, because dispo is a whole business, and it helped them and me at the same time. And so that's just a little bit of what I'm doing, right? So acquisitions, dispositions, we're doing lease options. I mean, there's so many ways to make money in real estate, but you got to stay focused. And then again, we're doing lending, gap lending, obviously transactional funding, and connecting, building the network to help one another.
So if someone, and guys, I want y'all to capital is key. Somebody put capital is key. That's right. Capital is key. So if somebody was a newer investor, right?
Yeah.
If somebody was looking to get into real estate and kind of mimic a business like mine, meaning they're looking to transition from, because I hear a lot of people, I spoke with maybe 5 people this week, no exaggeration. They said they're currently wholesaling.
Yeah.
But they're looking to kind of do more so what I'm doing, where we're taking them down, making them HGTV ready. Some were kind of, dressing them up, cleaning them out and putting them out. And they're like, I'm looking to get a little bit more into that. What would you recommend, or how could you help that individual to make the transition from wholesaler to fix and flipper?
Yeah, that's actually not difficult at all. funny enough, I had the same conversation today with another individual. You know, Joshua's son. Well, he has a brother. He's
Yeah.
like, hey, I think you need to talk to my brother. And so I'm like, all right, set up a meeting. Boom, set up a meeting. The day came, we had a conversation. Same thing. I don't know what I need to do. I don't know where I need to go. I do kind of want to do wholesaling. You know, you're back and forth and not really focused. What I do immediately is, all right, let's lock in. Tell me what's your vision? What are you trying to do? Where are your tools at that you don't even realize they're there? And so he tells me the story. You know, his wife's a tax strategist. He knows people that are trying to buy houses. And I'm like, bro, like it's right there. And so I got to point it out, right? Again, when you're too close to the picture, you can't see it. I got to pull them back. Like, bro, look, you can advise your wife's customers to buy property.
Yeah.
You can advise your family members to buy property through you. You can then go see all these properties in foreclosure, which then you could do a fix and flip with. And so it's hearing this story, hearing who they are and what they have, and saying, boom, let me pull this to your attention. Here you go. You didn't even realize you had it, and it was there all along. And so for someone, let's just get going back to the original question. For someone that wants to go from wholesaling to fix and flip, it's very, very simple. You're already doing one of the parts of it. You find the property. All right, check. Found the property. Next, let's go partner with someone. It's a team sport. Let's go find someone. You tell me where your market is. You tell me where you're looking for acquisitions, and I'm going to find the best fix and flipper to partner up with. Because here's the thing. You got to learn. You got to be hands-on. You got to understand the process from A to Z. And if you don't, you're not only going to lose, you're going to lose PMLs. You got potential that there'll be a foreclosure. It's just all bad news. So why do it alone, right?
Yeah.
Partner up. You got, I mean, if you're in the Atlanta area, shoot, you got one of the best right here in front of me. It's right, Rob.
Yeah.
If someone came to you with the capital, with the property, and they want to partner up with you, you're not gonna tell me you're gonna turn them away.
No, I never do.
Yeah,
never do.
Never
do. I mean, and that's why I asked you that question, because I knew you. So I give you a prime example. Christina, she's here in chat now. She just posted a comment. Christina had bought us a deal over in Marietta. And I remember I didn't even see the deal. I never even seen the deal, right? Mm-hmm. And when I went and finally seen the deal, man, this thing was rough. It was rough. It was a hoarder house. It was a hoarder house, right? So I knew Christina, after talking to her, I knew that she was a mover, right? So she was telling me, like, I do a lot of I help a lot of people out of foreclosures and things like that. You know what I mean? That's my value add. That's what I bring to the table. I get a lot of opportunities like this. And I was like, okay, cool. So I was like, this property is a little more, a little rougher than what I was expecting. However, I want to keep the relationship.
Yes.
I still purchased the property from her.
Wow.
No problems, smooth, nice, easy transition, right? What happened, I never met Christina in person. Yeah. Christina continued to do what? Bring leads our way. And then she recently reached out to me and was telling me, hey, I know we spoke briefly about sub-2 transactions. I'm the foreclosure girl. I come across a lot of these transactions. Can you help me to kind of add value to my clients as to how you can help me to help them?
Yes.
Boom. We was able to do more business that way. It's about what I've been saying from the beginning. And I'm telling you, guys go back and watch any of my podcasts. If you go back and watch, anything that we've done over the years, I've been saying the same thing from the beginning of time. Relationships, guys. Yep. The power is in relationships. I promise you. And this man is just a symbolization as to just what that looked like in regards to what relationship looked like. And all he doing is just coming in saying, look, I know my strengths, right? And I know people out here need help. And I want to be, I want to add value to these individuals. So first, I need to find out how I can add value to you, because I know what I could bring to the table, but how can I add value to you? So what he do is he initiated a meeting to sit down, rather it's via Zoom, however he do it, maybe even be through a phone call. What Miguel do is he find out where you're basically, you find out your strengths and he find out your weak points. And he even did it with me, an 18-year vet at that time. I had weaknesses and he came to me and he was like, yo, you don't need to basically have your hands in that. He was like, you need an integrator. I was like, well, basically like, okay, we got to get you all the way. You should be hands off at this point. And I was like, dang, you absolutely right. I should be hands off at this point, right? And that's why he connected the dots and getting me the people that I needed for my team to help me to kind of be like, everybody know that they work for my team. I tell people like, my team is your team. Mm-hmm. Miguel know that. Miguel don't even call me. He called my assistant Megan, or he'd text or email Megan. He'd be like, yo, I need to jump on. I'm trying to, I got a couple, prospects for Rob, or I got some people I want Rob to speak to. When is he available? He has set the thing with, he knows how to connect the dots. So that's why, Miguel, I love that, man. What are you guys? So you do it, you name acquisitions, dispositions. A lot of this is foreign language, man, to a lot of people. So I told you we got to break it down sometimes. Yes. So let's go back to the beginning.
Yes.
Let's start from the beginning. If somebody was, let's say, looking to get into getting a first deal, because we know rather as wholesaling and fix and flip, it's a lot of money to be made.
Yes.
What would you recommend a newbie do to get their first deal and maybe close it in the next 2 to 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks to get their first check?
Bro, no joke. This is the easiest way you can do it. I'll give you a perfect story. No joke. I met this gentleman. We met him, and I started talking to him, and he was like, you know what? I'm in the Coast Guard, so I don't have much time. Right? Mm-hmm. I got to focus on my job. I can't just be calling. And he's like, let's set up some time. I'm like, yeah, of course. Let's set some time up. Come meet me. Let's go get some coffee. I'll break it down for you. Mm-hmm. So it was simply put, and I'll tell you, this is how he did it. I told him, look, I'm going to tell you how to do it, but that's not going to work for you because you don't have time for it. This is where the real secret is. This is where you're going to really fulfill in. You're going to go talk to your circle, and you're going to find out who needs a house. And once you find that person, you bring them to me. I will literally explain from A to Z as I would explain to an 8-year-old and tell them exactly how it's going to go. And once we get that transaction done, I'm going to pay you $2,500 just for that. And that would be that. It's like that. And no joke, how long did he take? 2 days. Hey, bro, I got someone. Just like that. And so we're setting it up. He's going to get paid.
You can print money. You can print money. I get asked the question all the time, Rob, how do I get started in real estate? I'm like, bruh, sister, whoever the individual is that I'm talking to, because I get asked this question by many individuals. How can I get started? I'm like, you already did. You talking to me. Mm-hmm. If I had, no, let me take that back. When I first got to Atlanta, I went completely broke to the point where I lost everything. Me and my kids and my wife ended up in a hotel room, man. Broke, bro, lost everything. Right. But and mind you, I had a real estate license and was doing real estate before I left Philadelphia to transition to Atlanta. So, and I had a contracting business who had like 11 or 12 employees. So you talk about a piece of humble pie, brother.
Come on.
It's one thing to be poor, broke, busted, and disgusted by myself. I make a way. But to be looking at my little boys, though, to be looking at my wife, that was a different type of like dagger to your heart. You know what I mean? So I went and I said to my wife, I was like, we were supposed to open back up the contracting business. But I was like, you know what? This is what we're going to do. That was a revolving door. It was like hire, fire. Yeah. I was like, we're going to do something to where if it's a fire, we can put it out. We gonna be the fireman and one man around here. Went, I got a reciprocal license. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I did. I went and I paid, like, at the time, this was like 2013, 2014. Zillow had where you could buy zip codes for like $40, $50, especially in the zip codes I was buying it in. So you go buy zip codes. So at the time, places like that's popping now, like Venetian Hills, Oakland City, West End, these had a lot of abandoned houses in those areas. So investors was pouring into that area. Yeah. So guess what I did? I brought up them zip codes, and then my face would pop up on Zillow like, hey, here to help. They would call me right up. So once I found the buyer, it made it easy for me to basically and go find the deal, because all I had to do was go to them and was like, what you looking for? And then I found a couple wholesalers, right? I literally went to go find a couple wholesalers. How much you want for this? And it's funny you said $2,500, because this was the exact fee that I was putting on the top. I'm dead serious, bro. I was putting on the exact $2,500 on the top, bro. And then one time after, now I'm like the top guy. I'm selling so many properties that I'm popping up first, right? Like if y'all go to Zillow right now, and they don't even have, like, my wife told me, she's like, you know how many Zillow have you down as a sell? It was like, and my wife, if she on, she could tell me, it was like 400, 500 or something like that. Yeah. That's just the recordings. That's not my own properties.
Yeah.
That's how busy I was getting, bro. You know what I mean? So I said it to say, after a while, I'm like, wait a minute. This was the aha moment for me. One of my investors was like, you're double dipping, man. He was like, you sold the property for me, you made 25, then I'm listing it with you, you double dipping. I said, what? Bro, I sold this property. This thing had a bid war on it. I got this property for you. You about to make like $100,000. You talking about my little 25? Now, mind you, I was wholesaling in Philly before the word wholesaling was wholesaling. So then, bro, I connected the dots. First deal got dropped in my lap. I was over across the street with a client. Dropped in my lap. Wholesaled that thing, man, made like 20, 30 something $1,000, bro. Hit the ground running. I said, that $2,500 is out the window. But no, what you saying though, that person, you gave them a blueprint. They went out there and you basically gave them a check. They like, look, $2,500. That's $2,500 was a lot of money to a lot of people. It was life-changing for me. It got me out of the hotel room. Yeah. It got me a roof over my head. It was able to get me a vehicle and put me in a position where I was able to do hundreds of deals. Not all of them went $2,500. I eventually, caught on, and a lot of that stuff started being wholesale deals. But, brother, with that being said, you just touched on it. You're helping people to basically, and tell me if I'm summarizing this the correct way. You're helping people to basically see how easy this game is to print money.
That's it. And I let them choose where they want to make money at. And that's the thing. You and I both can show every single thing they can do.
Yeah.
But why am I going to overwhelm them when I already know, right? I had that one-on-one with him. I already knew he didn't have a lot of time. He doesn't have a lot of technical connections when it comes to the real estate world. Where can he make money if he doesn't have the right connections? But where he can make money is in circle. He knows a lot of people. He knows he's pretty involved in his church. He's involved in his community. Go find people. Go find people that can't qualify. Go find people that just don't have technically enough for them down payment. Go find them, bring them to me, and let me do my job. Let me go find that property they want. They're happy. You're happy. I'm happy.
Wow. So you're connecting the dots. You're at this point helping a lot of newbies get their first deals off the ground. Is there anything else added to this list of avatars that you can do to bring value to people, Miguel? Because in a minute here, we're gonna go answer a little bit of Q&A. So this is what I want y'all to do before Miguel, because we're about to come to a wrap here, guys. This podcast is literally only gonna be an hour long, guys. So I want y'all to be as interactive, and I want y'all to get the answer to y'all questions. Understand, guys, that me and this man, and this is why I brought this guy, to this podcast and to this episode, because he's a giver. Anybody knows me know that I'm a go-giver. We're really here to help you. It's not about just hearing us talk about how much money we making in the industry and how, we making millions of dollars doing this and doing that. No, we want to be a servant. How can we help? So this is what I want to do. Here are the instructions. One, I want you to place your question of the areas of where you're having problems at right now in your business. Two, if you would like to come on the podcast and come on stage with Miguel and myself, you put your question, and then I want you to basically put me after your question. And then we're going to bring you on, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk and help you to hopefully get up out of the whatever problems you're having, guys. So Miguel, let's dig into that. I want you to, drive that point home on what we just now made mention of. We know that you're doing, connecting. We know that you're helping people get their first deals, what else are you doing? Because I'm saying avatars, right? Even drive home as to what is an avatar and what I'm referring to when I say avatar.
Yeah, we're looking for properties. We're trying to sell them or we're trying to buy them, right? That's the wholesale. The side of dispo, we know, hey, we're trying to sell them to somebody like an investor like you or invest someone other investor, right? My passion, and this, is finding solutions to people's problems. Yes. And so the avatar that we can use technically is I don't like using it, but I mean, it is what it is. The simplest way to say it is a coach. It's someone that guides, someone that is able to see the full story and say, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this, you need to do that, or you need to connect with this person. Yeah. So that's actually I would say my last avatar is that one-on-one coach. I love learning stories. I love being able to spend time with a person, 30 minutes, just tell me your story so I can then fulfill what you need or see where you need to improve on via another person, right? Because as much as I would love to say I have all the answers, but I don't.
I love that.
Unfortunately. So, but I do have a lot of great people in my life that I can say, hey, bring this person to this person, and it's going to be a good connection. It's going to be a great outcome. And that's what we want. Again, if I haven't said it enough, I'll say it one more time. I want you to win. When you go into life, I want you to win, because that is what God has ordained you to do, to win. Life is to win and then to enjoy it and to spend time. Like Rob was talking about, it's not, you can make millions. It's possible. You can make millions, sure. But if you're not using it as a tool, you're not using it to grow your passion, you're not using it to share it with your friends, you're not using it for the good, because we know everyone's good. They have good hearts. They've been through tough situations. But at the end of the day, it's nurtured. This life has nurtured them to get to a certain point. I want to bring them back. I want to show them the great things that they can do.
Yeah, that's it right there, man. And guys, hear me. And I noticed somebody just put that in the chat, right? Time. Somebody just talked about time, and time is so viable, guys. It's one of our most viable assets. There it is. Time is the one thing we cannot get back. And this man is basically saying he's investing his time he's investing in people. He's taking out his time and utilizing his gifts to invest in people. It's rare that you find that today. It's a rare commodity, guys. Y'all know that. If you're a human being, it ain't even about being an investor. If you're a human being, finding people that's just willingly looking to give. And yes, like he said, he's a coach. And yes, he basically get reimbursed by basically helping you to find deals. So like he said, either he can buy it or to wholesale it and get you your fee, or he JV with you. Yes, but ultimately, guys, everybody is winning. Nobody have to lose in order for you to win. See, that's the world that we live in today, right? And guys, share this live with your friends, share this live with your family, anybody that y'all know that could benefit from this, because we're about to dig into some gems. And then we're going, like I said, guys, we're about another 15 minutes in, and we're going to go ahead and end this thing. But I want y'all to get this, because here is the thing. We get asked the question, I'm sure you do all the time, Miguel. Rob, again, how can I get started? Rob, how can I get, make money in this real estate guy? Rob, I'm running into issues. And I'm like, as much as here's what I do. I literally, and I had to really, this is why I tip my hat off to you, brother, because I was going behind the scene and helping people, helping so many people. But what was happening was I felt myself when I do a one-on-one with somebody, right? And again, we're talking about time. So let's just say and then, like with me, because I'm just a go-giver, it pours out of me naturally. It's just, if we're talking and you're having problems, I'm a problem solver. I'm trying to figure out what's the solution to your problem. Like, that's just how I'm breathing. So the worst slap in the face to me is when you spend that time with an individual, when you give them your gems, you give them your time. And then that person come back maybe 3 to 6 months later, asking you the same very questions that you gave them the answer to 3-6 months ago. And I'm like, yeah, but I gave you the answer to that question already, though. So it breaks my heart. But this is what I said, and this was one of my coach put me onto this. He's like, where you going wrong, you got a big heart. And you always, Pace always mess with me. This is my, my man Pace. Yeah, you got a big heart, you got big arms, you got big muscles, Rob. He said, but I'm gonna tell you, you got to learn how to basically invest into more people on a broader stage, coming from the perspective of you should start basically answering that question for many in the setting of answering it for one. You know what I mean? And that's what he taught me. He was like, yo, you got to start making sure that that very question, you basically did a disservice to so many people because that person didn't even do nothing with the information. But if you would have said that same Zoom with 10, 15, it's like 20, 15 people in here now, right? That we're sharing this information with. If one apply it, if one, I talk to 2 weeks from now, 2 months from now, they're like, yo, I put into action what you said on your podcast. Yeah, I linked up with Miguel, that thing he was talking about on how to print money, that $2,500 thing, and how to go. I did that. And guess what, Rob? I'm making $10,000 a month. But guess what, Rob? I'm making $15,000 a month. I'm like, job well done. If I could just reach one. Now I'm like, okay, cool. Now you got it. You eating now, right? You $10,000 a month, huh? Okay. Now go help somebody else.
Oh, that's it.
Now go help somebody else. Each one reach one.
That's it. That's oh man. You know me so well, brother. You know me so well. And that's what it comes down to, right?
Yeah.
It's not me just helping Rob. It's not me just helping somebody else. It's the fact that I want to imprint myself on you, which now you have that mentality of, I got to go help someone else. Miguel helped me. Rob helped me. I got to go spread this good news and share what I've learned from him and just give it to the world. And you know what? Rob is doing a fantastic job. This podcast is going to be seen by many, and they're going to know, hey, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to reach out to Rob because I want to partner on a fix and flip. Or I got to reach out to Miguel because, shoot, I have my friend that wants to buy a house, but his credit's shot. And so that's it. It's taking those steps. It's right there. You're helping someone else, right? You think about it. You help that person that comes to me that's trying to help that person's friend. That's helping each other. Boom, that's one. Same thing with someone that's that goes and JVs with you to build a property. Who is that property for? Right? That's for someone that wants to build a whole family in that house.
That's good.
It's when you give with everything you have, bro, you change the world one person at a time.
That's so powerful, man. That's so powerful. Guys, share it. Share this, guys. Share it. I see people popping up saying Miguel has added value. Miguel has added value to me. You know what I mean? And I said this to Miguel earlier. I said, everybody know I love 4 things. I love the Lord. I love my family. I love working out, and I love real estate, right? But what I noticed is somebody touched on it. They talk about how sometimes your heart, sometimes wanting to basically be so much of a go-getter, a big heart can sometimes be your biggest downfall. There it is. That's me. Christina, that's me. Because I will, and my wife would tell you, man, she gets on me about this. It's like, as a person, as a man of God, I owe you love, right?
Mm.
I owe you that. However, I don't owe you access.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean? I
Yep.
owe
Come
you
on.
love.
Come
I owe
on.
you love, but I don't owe you access. I heard that from a pastor buddy of mine, man. He said, people come, you feel people intentions and the cruel motives and the artery of motives that some people can have, right?
Yep.
You feel it. And
Yep.
it's like, I don't want to be nobody. I don't want to be, especially I'm too old for that, man. I got kids. They all at transitions right now. Like, I ain't got time to be wasting time, because I know time is very short. I remember my mom, used to always say, man, yeah, life is fast.
Yep.
Life is fast. Look at my man Khalif, man. I know this brother right here over 30 years, man.
Wow.
Still my friend over 30 years, man. That man watched me grow up since I was 8 years old. And yes, my mom used to always tell me, man, she used to be like, life is fast, Rob. And I remember during the time she was in the hospital fighting cancer, and she told me,
Yeah.
she was like, I was going through all types of stuff, man. People on my team, I had acquisitions, people stealing deals from my team and selling leads. People, one of my acquisitions managers jumped ship, all while my mom is in the hospital fighting for her life, and I'm having to fly back and forth from Atlanta to Philadelphia, right? And I remember my mom heard me take a call because I stepped out and I came back in, and I was just sitting next to her bed, and she was like, what's wrong with you, baby? And I was like, man, Mom, I mean, between what's happening to you and I got a bunch of stuff going on with the business, man, it's just a lot going on, Ma. You know what I mean? She's like, well, how is business? I was like, business is okay, Ma. It's okay. I'm in a little pickle right now. It's just, I'm not there. You know what I mean? It's going haywire right now. Catherine is kind of carrying everything by herself. My mom looked at me, man. She smiled. I never forget this, bro. And I don't want to start tearing because that was my baby. She is like, you gonna get back, baby. She's like, you always do. You did what I'm saying? She was like, you're gonna bounce back. No, she's that word. She said, you're gonna bounce back, baby. You always do. So 2023 is when I lost my mom, right? That year, we still had, after all that stuff that went down, you know what I mean? That's why I say money without wholeness is not prosperity.
Yep.
It's not prosperity, because I started making, 7 figures in my business back in like years ago. You know what I mean? But none of that money I could buy that cancer from my mom's body. I would take all of this money and burn it if I can get just one day back with my mom. You dig what I'm saying? So that's why I'm big on, when I said, and I will repeat this, I am not someone that's here to basically impress y'all with my money and talk about how many millions and things like that I'm making and things like that. We got enough of those out there. Y'all could scroll up and down YouTube and find a bunch of them. I'm not here for that. Miguel is not here for that. Again, guys, we're here to add value to you, because I know that once you realize, and I said this, when you change your thinking, you can change your life. You know what I mean? And now I'm the guy that's I'm the headship of my family now. I'm my mom, she was the rock. I'm that now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Now I'm at a point where I just didn't even had a granddaughter, right? I'm like, yo, dude, you could at least wait till I tapped in maybe the 40, 41 before you decided to do this, bro. Like, I'm like the youngest grandpa, you know what I mean? Blah, blah. I should have been having kids so young, but okay, I'm gonna embrace this on. But I know that I said to myself, there's so many things that I had to say no to, Miguel. I had to become a pro at saying no, bro, because pouring the people you are led to pour into. Yeah, pouring the people that you are led to pour into. That is it, man. That's why it's important to protect your time and energy, because people will burn you out, man. They will call me Pop, my man, Raw. It will burn you out, Miguel. And what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, it's like if we chasing money, right? If money is all you chasing, that's easy.
Yeah.
The devil could give you money overnight, like the devil could give you money. But if you don't have no peace at the end of the day, and your peace is gone, was the cost of your peace worth it? That's why I always say, I ask people, hold up. Is what you about to ask me, is it going to cost me my peace? Too expensive. I had to hang up on this lady told me earlier, yeah, we probably need to get off this phone because I'm about to, probably say something that I don't want to say. I said, yeah, you may need to do that.
Bye.
You may need to do that because no deal, no amount of money. If it's going to cost me my peace, it is too expensive. Guys, I promise you, money do not, again, this podcast is going to be about not just real estate, not just about showing y'all how to get into real estate, not just about showing y'all how to do deals and how to make a bunch of money, but in the process, keeping you the priorities straight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You making all this money just to go on a whole bunch of vacation. You ain't taking your wife with you. That's a problem. You know what I'm saying? If you're making a whole bunch of money and you don't even go home to your kids at night, and you out there, partying like a rock star, you all the way up, and that's a problem because all that did is increase the character of the man that was already there. And if you would have worked more on the man, building up your mind first and building up your inner character and getting your spirit man right first, then everything else would have been a domino effect and a reflection of you basically getting you right first. Miguel, what you think about that?
Bro, I think you're hitting it right on it. And you know what? I think the fact, this exactly what you're doing, it actually saves you a lot of time. This is why our mentor pushed so much on creating these clones, right? So someone comes to you and asks you so many things that we talked about today. You say, all right, like this is your homework. And I actually do this a lot of times as well. Do this and then come back to me. Send in this link, watch it, take some notes, and then come back to me and tell me what you learned from there and how can we apply it. Right? It saves me, 30 an hour a day. Yeah. And it saves my peace. Because there's times where I hate to say it, but there's people that just steal that energy. They just take it. And it's not, they don't even know they're taking it, but you can just feel it draining from you, and you just got to cut it. You got to cut it. And exactly that. When you do and you realize it's okay to say no, everything changes.
Whew. I became a pro at saying no, bro. I'm talking about, I guess it came with turning 40. I became a pro at saying, I'm a pro. I'd be like, no. Yeah, but you could do this. I want you to, this business opportunity. And I'm like, now I'm in position right now, brother. No. You know what I mean? Even even certain things people with, and it's no shade at nobody. I'm just doing what God has assigned for me to do in this season of my life. And I'm not trying to basically, because here's what happens is you're basically, you're moving out of position to be a people pleaser or to do things that God haven't even assigned or called for you to do. And guess what? It delays your journey. Things that should have only taken you a year. Let me take that back. Things that maybe only should have taken you a month, then taken you 2 years, all because you got out of position.
Yeah.
You didn't do what God told you to do 2 years ago. God told you to do X, Y, Z, gave you specific instructions. I give you a prime example. I'm guilty of it. God told me to do this earlier in this year.
Man.
You know what I mean? Here I am about to hit June, bro. But I knew, Miguel, I was traveling so much last year. That's why when you asked me, was I coming back to certain things when we talked about when we was away out of town, I was like, I can't do it this year, bro. I was like, because I traveled so much last year that I got to lock in this year, not only for myself, not just for the business. That's easy. You know what I mean? We did 64 transactions, right? Last year. We're on track to do double this year.
Wow.
Right? We're
Get
gonna
it.
do 100 and something transactions, but guess what, bro? I'm doing it at rest.
It's the best way.
Say it again.
The best way.
At rest.
Yeah.
I'm not sweating. I'm not stressing. And then I'm helping other people's in the meantime. My man just popped up. My man Alicio. He's popped up. Thanks to God for not saying no to me, Rob. He just burst in my office one day. You know what I mean? He's a lender here at the office. He burst in my office. I was like, Miguel, I'm like, Alicio, you ain't give me much of an opportunity to say no, brother. You know what I mean? But this was me though. We met in the hallway. He came up here, he told me he was trying to get into real estate. Boom. I set him right down, gave him the ABC one. He said, first, thank you both for your time and knowledge.
Yes.
Right? And knowledge. He said, the question is for the both of you, but Rob, you know where I'm at in my investment career, beginner. How do you take the next step to print money when you are financially strapped or your credit has taken a hit? Ooh, now we're getting into the questions.
Yeah.
You know what? He's right on time with the questions. Go ahead, Miguel, let you take that first, and then I'll go next.
All right. I would first of all clean out your ear, because you got to listen. You got to listen. You got to listen, and you got to act. That's the first step, right? You're already taking your steps, but once you start really listening and applying it, things change completely. There's a thing of momentum, right? You think you're climbing the hill, and it's hard, and it gets difficult. And here, there's a lot of people, I should say, that will climb the hill, and halfway up the hill, they move on to the next hill because they think it's easier. Stay consistent, open your ears, listen, and team up with the right people is one of the biggest things I would say. I don't know your story, but there's many things that you can do. I don't know if you have a family. I don't know. Again, there's not enough information for me to want to say, hey, do step 1, 2, 3. But those are the things I would tell you right now, just based off this comment. Clean out your ears, listen to the people that you have close to you that are in real estate that you see are being successful. Copy paste into your life, and you'll see incredible things happen.
Such great advice. Now, here is what I'm going to give you, because I personally know Alessio, right? So that's my guy. But Alessio comes from a background of lending. So he's used to the traditional lending world, right? So when he came to me, and when I started explaining to him how I buy properties, he was like, well, what? Like, does that even exist? I'm like, yeah, bro. Like, we don't go through people like you to get money, like I said earlier. So here we are. Licio, you already doing it, brother. You met me just a few months ago, and you already purchased your first deal.
Wow.
You've done a lot more than what you've done more than what people that basically been procrastinating for years have done. You've done that in less time, in just a few weeks, if you think about it, brother. He's already purchased his first fix and flip. He finished the renovation, and now it's on the market. So now he's just going through. Come on, man. Clap it up for my brother for that. And it's him and his wife, and they're doing it together, right? So now what I need you to do, Alicia, just like Alicia, did you pay for any money? Then you talk about, you just don't said this. You just don't said credit, financially strapped, things like that. Alicia, let me ask you this question. Did you have to have good credit to get the loan that you just don't purchase this house with? I can answer that question for you, because it's going to take too long to answer it. It's going to be no. You didn't need no credit. You didn't need a whole bunch of money. I put him in direct contact with my private lender. Wow. They funded the deal for him, the whole deal. And correct me if I'm wrong, Alicia, but I think they have funded the renovation too. So what do? Let me help you, brother. You do it again.
Yes.
And then you do it again.
And again.
And then you do it again. And on your first deal, you may only make, 10% return on investment, maybe less than that. But guess what? That's cool. That's part of the growing pains. That's part of what we in. I told you, next time, make sure when you renovate a property, and I'm going to make this live because I said this for you. I said this to you when we met, but you didn't do it. So it's going to be on the books this time. Renovate it right. Renovate it fast. Stage it. Stage every property that you flip, my brother. If you stage it, I promise you, your property is going to get a lot more eyes on it than the competition. Nothing hurts my heart more as a fix and flipper when I basically see people that has done an amazing job on their renovation, right? And then I don't just see the staging there because the staging helps to paint the vision. It is statistically, I think according to like the National Association of Realtors said it statistically, guys, like it helps your home sell faster than your competition every time. Not some of the times, every time.
Wow.
So just
There it
keep
is.
doing what you're doing, brother. Keep
There
running
it
your
is.
race. All right, here we go. We got another question. I like to learn how to make money in real estate wholesale business. I need help with getting out of laboring in my business, but have others do the laboring. I know that's right, brother. You know what I mean? Elevate in order to delegate in order to elevate while I make the time and getting more work for me, for my team. Okay. So Craig. Oh my, this is my man Craig. This is my man from Philly. I know Craig since I was a little boy too. This is the you see what I'm saying? Like, who do you know that know people since they knew you since you was like 8, 7 years old? You know you gotta be a good person. People still around that knew you when you was like 7 years old.
Yeah.
All right. So how do I learn how to make money in the real estate business, wholesale business? He said, I need help with getting out of laboring in my business, but he said I have others and have others do the laboring basically, right? While I make time and getting more work for my team. So you got to delegate, Craig. You got to delegate and to elevate, brother. You do an amazing job, and I be seeing your paint jobs. I see your work, and what happens is you've then built a business revolving around you. So your clients now have become accustomed to your workmanship and your craftsmanship. But now you got to go find another you, or you're going to have to train another you, and you have to now clone yourself, brother.
Yep.
You have to clone yourself, and then after you make that clone of yourself, you do it again. And then you do it again. And then now you have 4 clones of yourself. You have to also, Craig, find somebody that's an admin person if you don't already have this person. This is what changed the game for me. So what we refer to in my world as an integrator. You know what I mean? See, Catherine, my wife, is my integrator, but she's a visionary. She knows how to be my integrator. And what that looks like is like the person who take your vision that you have in your brain, because we're as visionaries, we're always thinking of the next big thing, but they want to make sure that they put it in a blueprint for you and say, hey, okay, remember that thing you told me about last week? Okay, I got it all written out for you, and this is how we're going to execute it. Step A, boom. Step B, boom. And it's in writing, and now it's a blueprint. So now it's something tangible. It's not something you're talking about or thinking about anymore. It's something that you can actually touch. It's something that you can actually put and implement into your business, right? And now, not only do we have organized and put it on paper for you. So look, I have now team members like Megan is part of my team, right? She's come in and she's helped out with the team. And I have a bunch of now integrators that now knows how, because I'm very radical. I'm like the guy that like being out in the field doing the work and talking to the guys and, you know what I mean, adding value and things like that. You know what I mean? On phone closing deals. Oh, you want to see Rob happy? Get me on the phone and close the deal, especially if it's something where we could get creative. But that's my answer. And I'm going to let Miguel answer that. But just step 1, Craig, clone yourself. Step 2, get an admin person that can help you out with the paperwork and even hiring people if need be. But that admin person, that integrator, is going to help you to delegate in order to elevate, brother. Miguel, what you got to say to that?
This is a pretty good one. First of all, I want you to get the idea of wholesaling out of your head. You're not a wholesaler, brother. I already, from listening to Rob telling me about your business, you're not a wholesaler. What you are, though, is a private money lender. Ooh. And so what you need to do is you need to get connected to Rob and allow him to show you what he's done. And then you invest into him. And then that return will come back to you while you focus and listen to what Rob said about your organization and better your business.
That's so deep. Dang, bro. This is why this is going to be fun, man. This is why. You know what, man? I was sitting with a friend, right? And she was telling me, she was like, because things slowed down with the fix and flip. So we kind of like shifted. Like we're not taking on major renovations right now.
Yeah, I remember.
Remember I was telling you that? So
Sure.
so now my friend, you know this friend, I told you about it. I got the,
Mm-hmm.
she was telling me how much money she made in the business. Now she was the same person that came to me and she said, Rob, look, I'm about to run into some money. This was years ago. She was like, Rob, I'm about to run into some money. I was like, you ought to run some money. Okay. She's like, I want to basically get back into real estate. She was an agent at this time. She's like, I want to get back into real estate. What should I do with it? Should I buy leads? I said the same thing you said. I said, look, let's sit down. Let's find your avatar.
Yes.
What's going to bring you happiness? What's going to make you happy? Is it making calls to buyers? Is it going out working with buyers? Is it working with sellers? What do this look like for you? And just so I gave her options. Those options was like 6 different options. Guess what? She didn't even know the option of being a private lender even existed. She didn't even know it existed.
Yep.
Like they didn't even exist in her mind. So guess what happened? She was like, that's the one. That's the one. Here we are years later. She have a full-blown lending business. And guess what? We're her only clients. And this lady, I'm not going to put her business out there, how much she makes, but she makes a boatload of money. Miguel, no. She makes a boatload of money for just basically pressing a button, sending a wire. We put together a promissory note that basically say that I'm going to give you back this percentage in this amount of time, and all she do is just sit back and collect off of every property we buy for the most part.
That's it. And here's another thing. Here's another beautiful part I love about private money lenders. They have so much liberty because there's some that are just hands off. They're here, take the money, fix it, bring it back to me with some friends, right? But then you have people that are interested in real estate, and what they'll do, what they should do is, hey, Rob, how's that project going? I think I want to take a trip out to go take a look at it. And then they get the real life experience. They get to touch everything. They get to see what you're doing. They get to see your vision, and they get to spend time with you.
That's it right there. That's the goal. That's the gold.
Yeah.
Being able to basically glean and get the experience from somebody and learn while you earn.
Yep. Facts.
With that being said, guys, we have come to the end of this episode, guys. Listen, it's been a blessing, man. My guy, Miguel, my brother, my friend. Dude, I can't thank you enough, man, for joining me, man. I'm going to have you back soon because I already know where this is headed, and I know what type of value you bring. We just touched on bits and pieces, but some people are still going to take time to connect the dots as to what a connector is. So this is what I advise y'all to do. Go back and watch this video. It's going to be live on my YouTube page. So now when people come to me and say, how do I do this? And I may not necessarily have the time to basically sit down with you no more to tell you. I would say, hey, guess what? I got a whole hour and 8-minute podcast talking about just that very thing you just now asked me. So with that being said, guys, I thank everybody for joining us, guys. If y'all enjoyed or got something out of this show, guys, give me a thumbs up. Give me a 1, give me a heart, give me something, guys, to let me know that we brought y'all value on today, guys, because here is the thing. This is just episode 1.
That's it.
I'm thinking, Miguel, I'm going to do this every other week, right? But I'm going to be out of town the week that I'm supposed to do it on. So I'm thinking like, oh, do I just do it next week? You know what I mean? You can get the next one out the way, but I'll let y'all know. But this all will be live on the YouTube channel, guys. We're here. Thank y'all. Thank y'all, man. We appreciate that. That's what I'm talking about. Thank y'all for the love, man. Thank y'all for the support. And look, guys, again, man, if Miguel, how do people get in touch with you, man? How can, they reach you? How can, they do business with you, Miguel, your team? How can they make money with you?
Yeah. Find me on Instagram. I honestly, I think just changed my name. If I remember correctly, Miguel buys RE on Instagram, and just hit me up, shoot me a message, shoot me a DM. Let's get, if we need to get on a call, or if you got the picture, right? Go find a buyer, bring it to me, and I'll find the property for them. You get $2,500, and then you get to just starting your journey at that moment.
Let's get it. And now we're going to tap in on a couple of the next episodes on how to go find those properties. Because we really did. Real quick, before we leave, give me 2 ways they can go find properties real quick. Because somebody going to say that. They're going to say, well, where do I find the properties? Where do I begin to find the properties?
You're looking at both of them. There's your 2 ways. You can find it either reaching out to me, or you could find it reaching out to Rob. And that's the simplest way, honestly.
Let me tell you guys, you can go find a deal today, guys. And people know this because I've been on the Deal Machine podcast a bunch of times. Those abandoned houses you walking by and driving by all the time. If you basically take that address down, rather you use an app like Deal Machine, and you basically do what's called skip trace that address and call that seller, you'd be surprised how many people you basically that you will find and they give you a yes. Same thing. Look at the properties on Zillow. We talked about Zillow earlier. What's up with the properties that sitting on the market for like 60, 90 days? Won't you call and ask that agent, hey man, I see that the property is sitting, seem to be an okay house. I'm just curious. Do y'all have any current offers? Okay. So if I was able to find you a willing, ready, and able buyer, is the seller negotiable? Okay, great. So how negotiable? You know what I mean? Because I work with a buyer that buy properties in this area. He's all cash, right? There'd be no contingencies. They can close soon as title clear, right? If I was able to bring you a willing, ready, and able buyer like that, what would an offer like that look like? And what happened is sometimes the agent already have the price in mind, because most sellers will say, look, I basically will accept this no lower. That's how I worked with sellers for years. Guys, been an agent for over what? I told y'all like 19 years now. They tell you, look, my rock bottom is this. And then as maybe 30 days go by, that rock bottom get a little lower. You know what I mean? 60 days, 90 days, 180 days. So, and then guess what? You have 2 people here that can give them the very price that they're looking for. Let's just say that they're asking for 200. We can give them 200.
Yeah.
We can give them 200 if they're open to basically selling the property to us creatively.
Yep.
And we can structure that deal so perfect that everybody win. People think when they hear creative financing, terms, and sub 2 and things like that, they think, oh, that's illegal. I've heard people literally say this to me, oh, that don't exist. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, this stuff been around before all of us was even born here. It's people like us that's closing deals like this every week. Shoot, in our community every day. A bunch of them. So guys, it's all about just relationships, getting in the room with the right people. Let's continue to go and grow, guys. As I said earlier, this podcast is focused on your overall growth, focusing on the overall man and woman, guys, and helping y'all to grow and continue to help y'all to build y'all business, guys. Until then, guys, I see y'all on the next video. Let's continue to go and grow. I appreciate y'all. Let's get it.